My contention is that truth, good, beauty in Sri Abhirama's philosophy. In this paper, an attempt is made to explore the ideas and thoughts of Sri Abhirama's philosophy from the perspectives of human values that encompass the concept of Purusharthas in dynamic and socially relevant terms applicable to human society forever. Here, I may say that, taking the clue from the inaugural session, the chief guest of the inaugural session, Professor Sanat Das Kumar Patnaik, he told very beautifully that one thing Thakur Abhiram Paramahansa highlighted, that one should free from pride and arrogance and all sorts of negative are the products of that pride and arrogance, which Thakur Abhiram Paramahansa termed Kuchita Vyadhi. He is not a physician but a philosopher who doesn't try to find a medicine for the solution of a disease, particular disease, rather a visionary person who thinks of the solution of all problems relating to human existence for all time to come. This is the uniqueness of a philosopher. He neither preaches asceticism nor self-indulgence for human progress. It is not a matter of showing but of pursuing by utilizing the free will. Progress of individual and society go simultaneously. Grihastha's life is superior to all other stages as it forms the foundation of them. But a Grihastha must be dharma abound. So far as human values are concerned, this discussion centers around man and society, not about the afterlife. Truth, good and beauty are inseparable from each other. Treatment of one without others is to fail to see life in its holistic approach. What is a human value? Ordinarily, the word value belongs to the domain of economics. Accordingly, anything that satisfies our desires is valuable to us, but anything that fulfills our needs may not be desirable, as that would obstruct our conservation and furtherance. But human values lies not in these only. Anything that adds to realizing the self is a value. The realization of self is the realization of one's nature, that two laws are working within every human being. One is mechanical and the other is autonomous and free. That freedom is the precondition of all sorts of human values. Values are neither objective nor subjective. It is a combination of both, in the sense that it is only human beings that values are pursued. W.M. Orban very nicely puts it that alone is ultimately and intrinsically valuable, that leads to the development of self or self-realization. Here, I have to say that self-realization means it is nothing, realization of some entity that lies within my body. It is something that I have to extend my horizon, what Professor Arjun sir pointed out in Abhiram's literature, that is Samata Drushti and Bhatrutva Bhava or brotherhood. That sort of attitude needs to be inculcated within a human being. And man is not therefore body, mind, senses or intellect only, but a person or a self and a spirit, one where one finds the solution to problems in a life, as the former is unconscious, former means mechanical laws. He is both the spectator as well as the actor. So far as the mechanical laws are concerned, he is the mere spectator. But so far as freedom, laws of freedom is concerned, he is the actor. The ability to transcend the limits of oneself as an animal in human form. Manusya Mruga Rupena, what Professor Padhi was saying, form to a human being, and the act of perception is unique to man. To surpass the limitations of individuality to the freedom of personality is the spiritual progress of a human being. Sir Julian Huxley defines persons are individuals who transcend their organic individuality in conscious social participation. The distinction between Vyaktitva and Vikasita Vyaktitva is highlighted in the philosophy and literature of Sri Abhiram Paramahansa in terms of blind and normal. The latter is the sign of a transformation of a householder or a grihastha into a netizen whose sympathizes and interest become worldwide, cutting across all genetic and other limitations. The Manusmriti says, just as all creatures live depending on air, so do all ashramas exist depending on grihastha or netizen household. Jatha vayu samasritya sarve jivanti jantavah tatha grihasthamasritya vartante sarva asrama. Therefore, grihastha is the fundamental stage as it nourishes others with knowledge and food. From this what follows is that the pursuits of both artha and kama are not detrimental to self-realization. It is a misconception that earning artha and indulgence engagement into our fulfillment of desires is detrimental, is opposite to our nature or to our self-realization. But this is not the case, because Thakur never denies such kind of activities. But all these need to be regulated by dharma. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, I am that kama in all beings that is unopposed to dharma. Dharma viruddho bhutesu kamasmin bharatarsava. Dharma is said to be unique to man, earning wealth and fulfilling desires by right intention and means is dharmic. And its impulsion to dishonesty, which Thakur termed asadhu, and unscrupulous srihina, man having no truth, is opposed to dharma. It is opposed to the welfare of others and one's spiritual growth. Since freedom of will is there, one can promote oneself from man to human or demote oneself to animal. Morality is a value, it is not the value. It is the backbone of society. Society is not a herd of human beings. It is an organized way of living and the platform for realizing the highest virtue of life in and through one's role in public and private affairs. It is morality that plays a vital role in accomplishing values. Values may be bodily, economic, recreation, association, character, aesthetic, intellectual, and religious values. In Indian philosophy, morality is called dharma, one of the virtues of purusartha of human life. It is the regulative principle of all other two purusarthas, artha and kama. It is regarded as the principle of reason, having no stains of emotions and passions. Laws and codes are made in society based on it. Sri Abhiram Paramahansa also subscribes to this view. He is of the view that there cannot be any principle without reason or dharma. Principles without reason are not principles at all. It is a matter of spiritual affair, not a matter of a matter as the matter is jada and the spirit is conscious. Only the conscious can make and unmake any rule. What is spiritual is called adhyatma, and what is material is called adhibhuta. Adhyatma is Ishvara. From this perspective, we can say that Sri Abhiram Paramahansa is a revolutionary thinker who deviates from the traditional concept of God, particularly the idea of deism, that God created all and remained away from their creatures. Ishvara is within the human body, not in the sense that a thing is in the box or a life within a cover or an eternal in a non-eternal, and in the words of Gilbert Ryle, we may say a barking dog in a cracking machine. What he means is that a man with noble qualities like non-violence, truth, ahimsa, satya, kindness, daya, and forgiveness, kshama, is a satyagrahi. A satyagrahi is a Narayana. How revolutionary he was, how he deviated from the traditional misconception of God, and God is somewhere else, and I am a human being, and I have to do for God. No, God is within me, and I am also become elevated to the stage of God if I perform such and such things. Noble qualities. A satyagrahi is a Narayana, a satyagrahi is a lover of truth of conscience, viveka, not an esoteric one. Satyagrahi is not something, or it is conscience is not something that is within me. Because whenever I try to do something, two laws are working within me that I feel. If my vivek, if a flower blossoms in somebody's garden and my pravriti says I have to take it, but somebody, some principle says within me, no, don't take it. It is not wise at all. So, this is, one may ask the question, who is an animal in human form? Sri Abhiram Paramahansa very nicely puts it that one who knows only food, sleep, fear and sex is everything, and there is nothing real. One has to regulate life by concentrating on chitta-vritti and one's self-rule, swaraj. In Greek philosophy, veteran Greek philosopher is there in front of me, Professor Moin Mohammad here. In Greek philosophy, Socrates also highlights that an unexamined life is not worth living. In modern European philosophy, the restraint of emotions is regarded as morality. It is not outright rejection of emotions, but control of them, as per, according to Sri Abhiram Paramahansa. In Kantian philosophy, we find that morality is the refusal. It is understood that morality is the refusal of the role of emotions, passions, and inclination. But Kant, as a philosopher, is of the view that in moral decisions, inclinations have no role as it is devoid of autonomy. The reason is the potential to make decisions. Emotions, desires, and passions are all mechanical and have no freedom. They are related causally nexus. There is a causal nexus. The question of morality only enters into the discourse if freedom is postulated. Reason provides the form to the emotions and desires. From the above stance, it is clear that a regulated life is a good life. That means what Professor Padi was asking, whether man is, are men good or evil? Who would be able to answer the question? Yes, I think Professor Padi will be there here, and my answer comes to this, what I have understood. I don't think that my approach is almost correct. No, this is my understanding. That means life is neither good nor bad. It is value neutral. It gets charmed in the stream of life through efforts leading to the transformation of life from kami to premi, in the words of Thakur Abhiram Paramahansa. This elevation is intrinsic, not instrumental. Sri Abhirama redefines the meaning of terms relating to values in visionary ways relevant for all time to come, irrespective of caste, color, creed, sex, gender, customs and practices. He knows that the root of spreading ignorance is the misinterpretation of terms conducive to moral upliftment. Misconception of any idea leads one in the wrong direction. In the words of us, in the Western philosophy we have seen, Wittgenstein says, language bewitches our intelligence. ସେଇଭଳି ଢଙ୍ଗରେ ଶ୍ରୀ ଅଭିରାମ ପରମହଂସ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଅକ୍ଷରରେ ଖେଳ. ଅତଏବ if we understand the terms in its proper context, in the context of human values, in the context for society, we have to re-understand, we have to rethink those terms in the light of Abhirama's interpretation. Certain terms like sparsha, mlecha, bhakta, bhakti, vaishnava, man, shiva, tyagi, nispapi, mayavi, mascharya, balavan, kuchita vyadhi, and so on. These are the terms which needs to be understood, needs to be rethought again and again from the practical standpoint. If it is understood rightly, then my conviction is sure. Values are, as I have already pointed out, values are classified as intrinsic and instrumental. Truth, good and beauty are intrinsic values. They are pursued for their sake. They are absolute, not relative. These three ideas satisfy the three aspects of life: intellectual, volitional, and emotional. Truth satisfies the intellectual, good satisfies the volitional, and beauty satisfies the emotional aspects of the self. Satya, Jnana, and Jnana, Bhakti, Karma. These are the three ways. It is not the three different ways. If one is totally surrendered to one path, then he is identified, he is a bhakta, he is a karmi, and he is also a jnani. So the point is that they are related inseparably. The inseparability of knowing, willing, and feeling is the essential unity of human nature. They are harmonized in life, and that has to be realized in a life. That would help one not to neglect the other aspects of life at the cost of one. The vision, Sarve Bhavantu Sukinaha, is materialized only through the holistic approach and reflective understanding of the various aspects of life in and through one's language game. In the words of Wittgenstein, it is an attitude to care and concern for others. This is all about my topic. With this, I conclude.